Chosen one, this message has found you at the perfect time. And that's no coincidence. You were meant to hear this today. What you are about to learn will shift everything for you, because this is the moment your awakening ends and your true purpose begins. You have been searching, learning, growing, walking the long road of self-discovery, breaking illusions, seeing beyond the veil of this world. But now, the phase of seeking is over. The universe is telling you it's time to step into your power. No more questions, no more waiting. The time has come. If you have been feeling restless, if you have sensed that something is shifting inside of you, if you feel like you are standing at the edge of something big, but can't quite put it into words, this is why. You are at the doorway between who you were and who you were meant to become. And today, you are walking through that door. Many chosen ones get lost in the awakening process. They mistake the journey for the destination. They believe the purpose is to keep searching, to keep waiting for more signs, more messages, more proof. But here's the truth no one tells you. Awakening was never meant to last forever. It is simply the initiation, the opening of your eyes. And now that your eyes are open, what comes next? Action, purpose, power. You have already received the knowledge. You have already separated yourself from illusions. You have already freed yourself from the chains that kept your soul in darkness. Now, it's time to use what you have gained, because if you don't, what was the purpose of it all? Look around. Do you feel it? The world is shifting. The energy is moving in ways it never has before. Light and darkness are at war, and the ones who were awakened are being called. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. You might be wondering, how do you know for sure that your spiritual awakening is complete? How do you know that it's truly time to step into your power? There are 7 undeniable signs. 7 ways the universe confirms that you are no longer just waking up, you are awake. And once you recognize these signs in yourself, there is no going back. Before we get into them, let me ask you something. If this message is speaking to your soul, if you feel that deep pull inside, I want you to type 777 right now. That number carries divine power, the energy of spiritual completion. And if you resonate with this message, it's because you are standing at the doorway of transformation. Let the universe know you are ready. These 7 signs are not small shifts. They are undeniable. Once you experience them, you know your awakening has ended and your true mission has begun. But be warned, chosen one. When you hear them, you will not be able to unsee the truth. You will not be able to pretend you don't know what you must do next. The waiting is over. The moment is here. Your soul has been prepared for this. Are you ready to hear the 7 signs? Then let's begin. The true purpose of a spiritual awakening. Chosen one, your spiritual awakening was never meant to be the final destination. It was the beginning of something far greater. The world teaches people that awakening is the goal, that once you wake up, you have arrived. But that is the greatest illusion of all. Your awakening was the moment you remembered who you truly are. It was the moment the veil lifted and you saw the world for what it truly is. You began to recognize the hidden forces, the spiritual battle, the deeper truths buried beneath the surface of everyday life. You felt the shift. You sensed that there was something more. And that feeling? That was the call. But what many chosen ones do not realize is that awakening is only the first step. The true purpose of a spiritual awakening is not just to see the truth. It is to become the truth, to embody the wisdom you have gained, to stop seeking and start living in alignment with your divine purpose. Think back to when you first awakened. Everything felt new. The world looked different. You questioned everything. You felt disconnected from the old version of yourself, from people who didn't understand, from a society that seemed asleep. You searched for answers. You devoured knowledge, ancient wisdom, spiritual texts, deep teachings. Your mind expanded. Your soul remembered. You walked the lonely path of realization, shedding layers of false identity, burning away the illusions that had been placed on you since birth. That journey was necessary. But now you are at a crossroads. You cannot stay in that phase forever. Spiritual awakening is not a cycle of endless learning. It is an initiation into something much greater, your divine mission. This is where many chosen ones get stuck. They keep searching. They keep waiting for another sign, another download, another confirmation. They think that if they just learn a little more, if they just meditate a little longer, if they just find that one missing piece, then they'll finally be ready. But the truth is, you are already ready. Awakening was never meant to be comfortable. It was never meant to be a place to stay. It was meant to shake you, break you, rebuild you into the being you were always meant to become. The real question is, have you accepted that? Have you embraced that your awakening was a preparation? Because now it is time to stop consuming and start creating. It is time to stop waiting and start moving. You were not awakened just to know the truth. You were awakened because you have a role to play in this world. The universe is waiting for you to step into your power, but it cannot force you. No guide, no angel, no spiritual teacher can walk through the door for you. This is a choice only you can make. You must decide to rise. You must decide to act. And make no mistake, the world needs you now, not in the future, not when you feel more ready, now. Every day that passes is a day where you could be using your gifts, your knowledge, your light to awaken others, to shift energy, to step into your divine assignment. So, what happens when your spiritual awakening is over? You become the embodiment of the wisdom you have received. You no longer just talk about spiritual truths. You live them. You no longer just recognize energy. You command it. You no longer just see beyond the illusion. You walk through this world untouched by it, unshaken, unwavering in your purpose. And if you are here, if you are still listening, if this message is ringing through your soul, then the time has come for you to step forward. The next phase is here. You are being called. But how do you know for certain that your awakening is over? That you are no longer just waking up, but are fully awake? There are 7 undeniable signs. 7 ways the universe confirms that you have completed the process of awakening and are now ready to use your powers. Are you ready to recognize them? Sign number 1. You no longer feel separate from the universe. Chosen one, in the early stages of your awakening, you may have felt isolated, like you were drifting between 2 worlds. The old reality you once believed in and the new truth you had discovered. You questioned everything. You felt alone. You searched for meaning, for connection, for something to hold on to. But now, something has shifted. The feeling of separation is gone. You no longer feel like an outsider looking in. You have stopped searching for the divine outside of yourself because you have realized that you and the universe are one. This is one of the clearest signs that your spiritual awakening is complete. The illusion of separation, the idea that you are just an individual soul lost in the vastness of existence, has dissolved. You no longer feel the need to find connection because you already embody it. You move through life with an unshakable knowing that everything is interconnected. You are not just a part of the universe. You are the universe, expressing itself through human form. This realization changes everything. Before, you may have looked for signs and synchronicities to feel validated, to confirm that you are on the right path. Now you don't need signs, you just know. The universe speaks through you, not just to you. You don't feel the need to constantly ask for guidance because you trust that you are always exactly where you need to be. You feel the energy of life flowing through you at all times. You see yourself reflected in nature, in the stars, in the people you meet. There is no longer a sense of me versus the world. The ego-driven identity that once ruled your thoughts has faded. You understand that there is no separation between you and the divine, between you and others, between you and the earth. Before, you might have questioned whether you belonged here, whether you were on the right path, whether you were truly connected to something greater. Now, those doubts have disappeared. You feel at home in the universe, because you are the universe experiencing itself. And here's the most powerful part. This knowing brings you peace. When you no longer feel separate, you stop resisting the flow of life. You don't cling to outcomes. You don't fear change. You don't struggle against the currents of destiny. Instead, you move with them. You trust in divine timing. You surrender to the natural rhythms of existence, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. This does not mean life becomes perfect. Challenges still come, obstacles still appear. But the difference is, you do not fight them. You no longer see difficulties as punishment or random misfortune. You understand that everything is happening for you, not to you. You no longer ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, you ask, "What is this teaching me?" This level of awareness is rare. Many spend their whole lives feeling separate, disconnected, searching for something beyond themselves. But you, chosen one, have stepped into the deepest truth. There is no separation. There never was. It was only the illusion of the mind. And because of this, you no longer feel the need to force anything. You attract instead of chase. You align instead of resist. You know that everything you need is already within you. And because of that, you move through life with confidence, ease, and grace. This is the first sign that your spiritual awakening is complete. You have transcended the illusion of separation. You are no longer lost, no longer searching. You are one with all that is. And now, with this knowing, it is time to step forward. Because if you are no longer separate, then what does that mean? It means you have influence over everything around you. It means your thoughts, your energy, your actions shape reality. It means you hold power beyond what you ever imagined. Are you ready to step into that power? Then let's move on to the next sign. Sign number 2. Your intuition guides you without doubt. Chosen one, before your awakening, you may have constantly questioned yourself. You may have second-guessed your decisions, sought external validation, and hesitated to trust your own inner voice. But now, something profound has shifted. You no longer look outside yourself for answers. You know, your intuition, that inner voice, that deep sense of knowing, has become your most trusted guide. And the difference is, you no longer doubt it. This is one of the clearest signs that your spiritual awakening is complete. Before, intuition may have felt like a whisper, subtle, uncertain, something you weren't sure you could trust. But now, it is as clear as a ringing bell. It is strong. It is loud. It is undeniable. You don't need to seek constant reassurance anymore. You don't ask for endless signs or confirmations. You simply trust the feeling in your soul. When you meet someone and your energy tells you something is off, you listen. When an opportunity presents itself, but something deep inside tells you to walk away, you obey without hesitation. When a new path calls to you, even if it makes no logical sense, you follow it with full faith. The reason this happens is simple. You have stopped relying on the mind alone. You have realized that logic has its limits, that the mind can be programmed, manipulated, and confused. But intuition is pure. It is the voice of your higher self, the part of you that knows before the mind can even comprehend. You've also stopped dismissing your inner knowing as just a feeling. You have seen, time and time again, that when you trust yourself, things fall into place, and when you ignore that voice, things go wrong. The proof is undeniable. This level of trust changes everything. It removes fear. It eliminates hesitation. It allows you to move through life with clarity and certainty. You don't need to overanalyze, to make pros and cons lists, to ask 10 different people what they think. You just know. This doesn't mean your path is always easy. It doesn't mean your choices won't sometimes challenge you. But what it does mean is that you have complete confidence in your own direction. You have stepped into alignment with your highest self. And because of that, you no longer waste time in indecision. You act when you are called to act. You move when your spirit tells you to move. And the most beautiful part? Life begins to flow effortlessly. Because when you trust your intuition, you are no longer resisting your destiny. You are no longer trying to force things that aren't meant for you. You are no longer walking paths that lead nowhere. Your intuition connects you directly to the universe. It is how the divine speaks to you. It is how your soul navigates this reality. And when you fully trust it, when you stop questioning it, when you stop ignoring it, you step into a level of spiritual mastery that few ever reach. This is the second sign that your awakening is complete. You have stopped seeking answers outside of yourself. You have become the answer. You trust yourself fully, without hesitation, without doubt. And because of that, you are ready to step into your divine power. Now, are you ready for the next sign? Because it will reveal just how deeply you have transformed. Let's continue. This doesn't mean you reject success or financial prosperity. Quite the opposite. It means you are no longer a slave to these things. You no longer chase them blindly. You allow them to flow naturally, without attachment, without desperation. And because of this shift, true abundance begins to find you effortlessly. When you are no longer controlled by material desires, you move differently. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop feeling jealousy over what others have. You stop chasing trends, trying to prove your worth, trying to impress people who don't even matter. You realize that true wealth is inner peace. True success is living your purpose. True fulfillment comes from within. This is a powerful transformation. The world runs on materialism, on ego-driven pursuits, on endless craving. But you, chosen one, have broken free. You see beyond the illusion. You have stepped into a higher state of being, and because of this, you are now ready to use your energy in ways that truly matter. You are ready to focus on your mission instead of meaningless distractions. You are ready to walk your path without being weighed down by desires that do not serve your soul. This is the third sign that your spiritual awakening is complete. You are no longer controlled by material desires. You move with purpose. You act with wisdom. You live in abundance without attachment. And because of this, your energy is now free to rise, to expand, to create real impact. Now, are you ready for the next sign? Because this one will show you just how much you have evolved. Sign number 3. Material desires no longer control you. Chosen one, there was a time when material things held power over you. A time when you believed success was measured by wealth, status, possessions, or external achievements. Society conditioned you to chase these things, to believe they were the key to happiness, security, and fulfillment. But now, you see the truth. This is one of the clearest signs that your spiritual awakening is complete. Material desires no longer control you. It is not that you reject the material world entirely. It is not that you no longer enjoy comfort, abundance, or the beauty of physical things. The difference is, they no longer own you. You have detached from the illusion that money, possessions, or social validation define your worth. You no longer measure your life by what you have, but by what you are. Your focus has shifted from accumulation to purpose, from chasing success to living in alignment, from seeking validation to radiating truth. Before your awakening, material desires may have dictated your choices. You may have pursued careers, relationships, or opportunities based on external rewards, money, luxury, recognition. But now you see that none of these things bring real fulfillment. The joy they provide is temporary, fleeting, never enough to satisfy the soul. Now you make decisions based on alignment, not greed. You no longer ask, what will bring me the most wealth? Instead, you ask, what will bring me the most growth? What will allow me to serve? What will align me with my higher purpose? This detachment from materialism brings a profound sense of freedom. You are no longer controlled by fear, fear of loss, fear of not having enough, fear of falling behind. You trust that the universe will always provide. You no longer cling to things because you know that what is meant for you will always flow into your life at the right time. You also begin to see abundance in a new way. You no longer equate wealth with hoarding. You see true abundance as the ability to give, to share, to use your resources in service of something greater. Money, possessions, status, these things become tools, not goals. They no longer hold power over you. Instead, you use them consciously, wisely, with purpose. Sign number 4. You have embraced solitude and peace. Chosen one, there was a time when solitude felt uncomfortable, a time when silence felt empty, when being alone brought up restlessness, doubt, or even sadness. You may have sought distractions, people, noise, external stimulation, anything to fill the space, anything to avoid being alone with your thoughts. But now, everything has changed. This is one of the most powerful signs that your spiritual awakening is complete. You have embraced solitude, and within it, you have found peace. You no longer fear being alone, because you have discovered something that many never will. Your own presence is enough. You no longer need constant validation, constant company, or constant engagement with the world. You have learned that solitude is not loneliness. Solitude is power. It is where your soul breathes. It is where you connect with the divine. There was a time when the thought of isolation may have made you feel uneasy. But now, you crave those moments of stillness. You protect them. You guard your peace with intention because you understand its value. You know that in solitude, you hear the voice of your higher self most clearly. In silence, you receive divine guidance. In stillness, you recharge, you align, you elevate. This shift also changes how you interact with others. Before, you may have tolerated draining relationships, forced yourself into social settings that no longer served you, or felt obligated to maintain connections out of guilt or habit. But now, you have released all of that. You no longer entertain energy that disrupts your peace. You do not force connections. You do not engage in meaningless conversations or surface-level interactions just to avoid being alone. Instead, you choose your interactions carefully. You value depth over quantity. You would rather stand alone in truth than be surrounded by people who do not align with your spirit. And because of this, you have stopped seeking companionship from a place of emptiness. You are already whole. You are already fulfilled. And any connection you allow into your life now must add to your energy, not drain it. This doesn't mean you have isolated yourself completely. It doesn't mean you reject human connection. In fact, it is the opposite. You now appreciate connection on a much deeper level, but you are no longer dependent on it. You do not need constant social interaction to feel complete. You have found your own company to be enough, and this brings an unshakable sense of peace. You no longer feel restless. You no longer need external distractions to fill your time. You are content in your own space, with your own thoughts, in your own energy. You enjoy your own presence. And that, chosen one, is a rare and powerful thing. When you reach this level, you move differently. You radiate a quiet confidence, an energy that others can feel but may not fully understand. People notice your calm. They sense your peace. They see that you are not desperate for attention, for approval, for belonging, because you already belong to yourself. And here's the truth. Most people cannot sit in solitude. They cannot be alone with themselves because they have not yet made peace with their own mind. They need distractions. They need external noise. But you have transcended that need. You have found a sanctuary within yourself. This is the fourth sign that your spiritual awakening is complete. You have embraced solitude, and in doing so, you have found peace. You are no longer running from yourself. You are no longer seeking fulfillment outside of you. You have discovered the infinite universe within, and because of this, you are now prepared for what comes next. Are you ready to step even further into your power? Then let's continue. The next sign will reveal the true impact of your awakening. Sign number 5. You naturally attract people who need your light. Chosen one, you may have noticed that people are drawn to you in ways that feel almost magnetic. Strangers open up to you, seeking guidance without knowing why. Friends and family come to you for wisdom, for comfort, for truth. Even those who once doubted you now find themselves pulled toward your presence. This is not random. This is one of the strongest signs that your spiritual awakening is complete. You have become a beacon of light, and people naturally gravitate toward you. You do not chase. You do not seek attention. You do not force connections. Yet, somehow, you are always placed in the path of those who need your energy the most. It is as if the universe is guiding them to you, aligning your presence with those who are searching for something deeper, something real. This is the natural effect of spiritual evolution. When you awaken fully, your frequency shifts. Your energy vibrates on a higher level, and that energy radiates without effort. You don't have to say much. You don't have to prove yourself. Your presence alone speaks. People sense it. They feel the peace within you. They recognize something different about you, something they cannot always put into words. You have a certain calm, a quiet confidence, an aura of wisdom that makes them feel safe. Without even trying, you become a guide, a source of inspiration, a reminder of something they may not even understand yet. This doesn't mean that everyone who comes to you is meant to stay. Many will come seeking your light, but not all will be ready to embrace their own. Some will look to you as a source of comfort, but will not be willing to grow. Some will admire you, yet resist the changes that your presence ignites within them. This is where discernment is required. Because while you are meant to shine, you are not meant to dim yourself for those who are not ready. Your energy is sacred, and now that you have awakened, you must protect it. You are no longer just an individual walking through this world. You are an energy shift in human form. And because of that, the universe is using you. It is placing you in certain places, aligning you with certain people, orchestrating situations where your presence alone can be the key that unlocks someone else's awakening. This is not a burden. This is not something you must force. It simply is. Your light works naturally, effortlessly. And when people enter your life, you will begin to notice a pattern. Many of them are seeking something more, something beyond the surface. They may not even know what it is, but they find themselves drawn to you because they sense that you know. You will also begin to attract other awakened souls, those who are walking their own divine path, those who understand your journey, those who do not drain your energy, but expand it. As you continue to rise, you will notice that your circle becomes smaller, but the connections become deeper. This is the shift. You are no longer lost, searching, disconnected. You are no longer wandering without purpose. You have become the guide you once needed, and now your light is guiding others. This is the 5th sign that your spiritual awakening is complete. People are drawn to your energy, to your wisdom, to your presence. You are no longer just receiving light. You have become the source. And because of this, your purpose is calling louder than ever. Are you ready to step into it fully? Then let's move on. The next sign will show you just how deeply you have awakened. Sign number 6. You can see through deception and illusions. Chosen one, before your awakening, You lived in a world where illusions controlled everything. You accepted things as they were presented. You believed what society told you, what authority figures taught you, what the world projected as truth. But now, that veil has been lifted. One of the most undeniable signs that your spiritual awakening is complete is this: you can see through deception and illusions. You are no longer easily manipulated. You no longer take things at face value. You question everything, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Your intuition is razor sharp, and when something feels false, you know it instantly. This awareness applies to every area of life. You can sense dishonesty in people. You can feel when someone is wearing a mask, pretending to be something they are not. You no longer fall for empty words or deceptive actions. People cannot manipulate you because you see through their intentions before they even speak. But this gift extends beyond individuals. It applies to the entire world around you. You see through societal conditioning. You understand that much of what the world calls reality is carefully constructed to keep people asleep, to keep them distracted, to keep them disconnected from their power. You no longer believe everything the media presents as truth. You recognize when narratives are designed to create fear, when systems are designed to keep people trapped, when illusions are placed before the masses to control them. This realization can be both liberating and heavy. At first, it may have felt overwhelming, even isolating. You saw things others could not, and there was a time when you may have wished you could unsee them. But now, you have stepped into acceptance. You understand that truth is not meant to be comfortable. It is meant to set you free. You have become a master of discernment. You no longer waste energy arguing with those who are still blind. You do not force people to see what they are not ready for. Instead, you observe. You navigate the world with wisdom, moving strategically, aligning yourself only with those who operate in truth. This ability also changes the way you live. You are no longer swayed by trends, by shallow pursuits, by empty distractions. You do not chase after things that hold no real value. You do not give your energy to things that are meaningless. You have stepped into clarity, and because of that, you make choices based on truth, not illusion. And the most powerful part, this awareness has made you immune to fear. The world tries to control people through fear. Fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. But you no longer operate in fear. You see through it. You recognize that fear is a tool, a weapon used to keep people from stepping into their power. But you, chosen one, are already in your power. You are no longer controlled. You are no longer swayed by deception. You see. And because of that, you are untouchable. This is the sixth sign that your spiritual awakening is complete. You have transcended illusion. You have risen above deception. You no longer live in falsehood. You are aligned only with truth, and because of that, your path is clear. Now, there is only one more sign left, the final confirmation that you have fully awakened. Are you ready? Sign number 7. You feel a strong call to step into your mission. Chosen one. There was a time when you questioned your purpose, a time when you wondered why you were here, what your role was in this world. what you were meant to do with the knowledge and awareness you had gained. But that time is over. Now, something inside you is pulling you forward, an undeniable force, an inner knowing that you must step into your mission. This is the strongest and final sign that your spiritual awakening is complete. You no longer just think about your purpose. You feel an urgent, almost divine calling to live it. This call is not subtle. It is not something you can ignore. It shows up in every aspect of your life, in your thoughts, in your emotions, in your very being. You may wake up with the feeling that you are meant to do something greater. You may feel restless when you are not actively working towards something meaningful. You may feel an internal pressure, not from the outside world, but from within your own soul. You know you were not awakened just to observe. You were awakened to act. You have been prepared, guided, and transformed, not for yourself alone, but because the world needs you. The distractions that once held your attention no longer matter. You do not waste time in meaningless conversations, empty entertainment, or purposeless activities. Everything in you is focused on becoming the person you were meant to be. This calling may come in different forms. It may be a desire to teach, to heal, to guide others. It may be a pull toward a creative pursuit, a leadership role, or a movement that aligns with your truth. It may be a need to break free from the life you once knew and step fully into the unknown, trusting that the universe will guide you. Whatever form it takes, the message is clear. You cannot go back to your old ways. You cannot pretend you don't know what you know. You cannot silence the voice within you any longer. And the most powerful part, you are ready. There was a time when this level of responsibility may have scared you. A time when you hesitated, when you doubted whether you were truly capable of stepping into your power. But now, the fear is gone. You may not have every answer. You may not know every step ahead, but you know that you are meant to move forward. The universe has placed you exactly where you need to be. It has given you the experiences, the lessons, the wisdom to carry out your mission. And now, it is up to you to answer the call. This is the final sign that your spiritual awakening is complete. The waiting is over. The preparation is done. Your mission begins now. Are you ready to step fully into it? If this message speaks to your soul, type 777 in the comments right now. Declare it to the universe. You are ready. You are chosen. You are stepping into your divine path. And now, chosen one, it is time to use your powers. Let's move forward. Now, it's time to use your powers. Chosen one, your awakening was never meant to be the final step. It was the preparation, the transformation, the breaking of illusions, and the opening of your eyes. But now, that phase is over. You have seen the truth. You have felt the shift. And now, it is time to use your powers. You did not awaken just to exist in awareness. You did not receive these insights, these visions, this higher wisdom just to sit with it. You were awakened to act, to create, to shift energies, to guide, to heal, to manifest, to step fully into the divine force that has always been within you. But what does it mean to use your powers? It means stepping into your purpose without hesitation. It means no longer waiting for a perfect moment. It means no longer questioning if you are ready, because the truth is, you have been ready. Every challenge, every test, every experience in your journey was designed to prepare you for this exact moment. Using your powers means embracing the fact that you are a creator. No longer just a passive observer of life, but an active force shaping reality. You understand now that your words, your thoughts, your energy, these are not just random vibrations. They are commands to the universe. Every intention you set, every belief you hold, every frequency you operate on manifests into reality. You can no longer afford to think small. You can no longer allow doubt to weaken your energy. Your spiritual awakening was not just about learning who you are. It was about remembering what you are capable of. And what you are capable of is limitless. So how do you begin? First, you must fully own your energy. No more leaking your power into fear, distractions, or meaningless things. You must move with intentionality. When you speak, speak with purpose. When you act, act with clarity. When you set a vision for your future, do so with absolute certainty. The universe does not respond to hesitation. It responds to confidence. It responds to conviction. Second, you must protect your frequency. Not everyone will understand the path you are on. Not everyone is meant to walk with you, and that is okay. But you cannot allow lower vibrations to pull you back. You cannot allow negative influences, toxic environments, or outdated belief systems to weaken your energy. You must stand firm in your light. This means setting boundaries. This means walking away from anything that does not align with your highest self. This means choosing your thoughts, your emotions, your surroundings with deep awareness, because now you are too powerful to allow anything less. Third, you must use your voice. The world is waking up, and chosen ones are being activated all over the planet. And now, it is your turn. Whether your gift is teaching, creating, healing, leading, inspiring, it is time to use it. Do not let fear of judgment hold you back. Do not let thoughts of, "What if I fail?" keep you from taking action. The universe will support you the moment you step forward. And finally, you must trust yourself. No more second-guessing. No more waiting for more signs. You already have the signs. You already have the knowledge. You already have everything you need inside of you. The only thing left is for you to believe it. Because here is the truth. If you do not step into your power, the world will suffer for it. There are people who need your energy. There are souls waiting for your guidance. There are lives that will change simply because you had the courage to shine your light. And so, chosen one, the time is now. The waiting is over. The next phase of your journey has begun. Stand up, speak out, move forward, use your powers. The world is waiting for you. If this message resonates with your soul, type 777 in the comments right now. Declare it to the universe. You are stepping into your power. You are no longer waiting. You are ready. Now go. Rise. It is time.